Hello and welcome back to Off the Post. In today's video, we'll be ranking the best summer transfers of the 2025-2026 season so far. But as always, please like, comment and subscribe. It is very much appreciated and it goes a long way into helping us build a small community on my channel. And I just want to say a massive thank you to all of my subscribers, everybody that likes the videos, who comments on the videos, all the support on social media as well. Absolutely fantastic so far. But let's just get straight into the video, shall we? Okay, this is a tier list, right, discussing the best confirmed transfers at the moment. And I've got 4 categories, which are unbelievable Jeff, great signing, alright, and meh. Could be a little bit better, you know what I'm trying to say? Anyways, we've got 7 players on this list. So starting off, the first player, that is Churchy to Man City. Okay, yes, this hasn't been confirmed as of yet, but it's basically confirmed because they've agreed a £34 million transfer fee for Churchy. Now this player, right, is one of the most sought after wingers in the whole world football, I'm pretty sure, at this point. I've known about this guy for a good 2 or 3 seasons now, since he broke through at the age of like 18 at Lyon in League One. And if we just read out some of his stats from this season in League One, right, he's got 12 goals and 20 assists in League One, which by anybody's standard is absolutely fantastic. And Pep Guardiola might have actually found a winger to solve his problems ever since he's been losing the likes of Raheem Sterling and Leroy Sané, because ever since, you know, those two haven't been in the team for Man City over the recent years, he hasn't really been able to find somebody in that left winger position, has he? Obviously, you've had the likes of Jack Grealish, Doku, Salvino at times, but he's more of a right winger, isn't he? But he's had loads of players in that position and just hasn't really been able to do the business. But for 34 million for Churchy, absolutely fantastic, okay? He's got the skills for days. He can beat a player on the wing. He can dribble past the fullbacks. Honestly, this guy can potentially do it all. And for me, he has to be an unbelievable Jeff signing, just because of the way that he just plays football. I really like watching him and his highlights. Don't get me wrong, I don't really watch Lyon that much as I probably should do. But, you know, when I watch the highlights, and obviously his time in France as well, in the international team, I don't know if you guys seen that goal the other day where he just flipped the ball up. He was like outside the box, flipped the ball up, and just was like a half volley or something from outside the box. Come on now, this guy is a serious world-class talent at your disposal, and I really do feel like Pep Guardiola will hopefully get the best out of him. But that also does determine the career of Jack Grealish at Man City. Do you think his time will come to an end? For me, I'm going to have to say yes. I feel like it just hasn't worked out, that transfer. You know, obviously signing for £100 million from Aston Villa, that hasn't been successful, has it? You can't say it has been. Of course he's won trophies, of course he's won a treble, but other than that, he's just not the same player. You know, for someone like Jack Grealish, who wants to be playing week in, week out, and when you sit on the bench, you can tell he just doesn't look happy. So for me, I do think he needs to get a move away. So moving over to the next player now, that is Liam Delap to Chelsea. I've spoken about Liam Delap quite a lot recently in my previous videos, so we won't go into detail about it, but I feel like it is going to be a great signing for Chelsea, especially when you think about the price. £30 million, obviously they brought in for that release clause of 30 million. Absolute bargain, because when you look around the striker market in the transfer window currently, you're having to pay at least 50 to 60 million plus for those world-class potential and world-class strikers in the likes of Benjamin Sesko, Victor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, all these types of players. You're having to pay so much money, and when you're only paying 30 million for a proven Premier League striker in the likes of Liam Delap, of course he's only had 1 season, but he absolutely lit it up at Ipswich Town, scoring 12 goals and getting 2 assists. So I've spoken about this player a lot. And I also do think when you're linking up to the former players of like Cole Palmer, Romario Lavio, I think I've said that right, you know, obviously they broke through together in that Man City academy, so having that little bit of connection as well. And obviously Enzo Maresca, I'm pretty sure he was the youth coach at Man City as well. Hopefully I'm correct, but don't get me wrong, you probably roast me in the comments if I am wrong. And yeah, I do think Liam Delap to Chelsea. Obviously Chelsea are missing a striker, and that's what they do need, so I think it is a good transfer overall. Okay, moving over to Kelleher to Brentford for 18 million. When we talk about that price tag, 18 million for a goalkeeper, of Kelleher's, stature and ability, that is absolutely fantastic a piece of business. So I think that has to be another great signing because, of course, he's Liverpool's second goalkeeper, but, he's played 10 games this season and I don't think they would have won the league without him. That might be a big statement, I know, but when Alisson was out injured and whatnot, Kelleher came in and he slotted into the team fantastically, made some brilliant saves to, keep Liverpool into the games and, obviously not conceding goals. So for that reason alone, I feel like he definitely deserves his chance to be a first-team goalkeeper. And what better team to choose than Brentford, because they've been absolutely fantastic in the Premier League over recent seasons. It's a bit of in doubt now that Thomas Frank might be going to Tottenham, so we don't know who the new manager might be, but either way, I feel like it's a great bit of business for Brentford and the goalkeeper himself. So moving over now to Ait-Nouri, going to Man City for 36 million, I'm pretty sure. I think it was 36.3 million in the end. And I don't know about this signing, I'm not going to lie to you guys. When you look at the left back options in the market out at the moment, you've got the likes of Kirkes, Anthony Robinson. If you look abroad, you've got you've got Mendes at PSG, you've got Theo Hernandez at AC Milan. I just feel like there probably were better options out there. Don't get me wrong. If you look at Wolves and you look at Ait-Nouri, for example, he's a good player. I'm not saying he's bad. I don't feel like he's going to be I don't think he'll be a bad player for Man City. I feel like he will do decent. But I feel like if you brought somebody ahead of him, like the players I've mentioned, they probably could have done a little bit better and they probably could have fit into that team a little bit more seamlessly. I just don't know if it's going to work out straight away for Ait-Nouri. Let's say if he has a few bad games here and there, is he going to, bounce back straight away? I don't know. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in meh, just because I feel like there are better options out there. I don't know if he's going to be a starter straight away, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if Man City has sort of looked at him to be like, I don't know, a second option. I don't know if he's going to be a starter, I'm not too sure. Right, we've got 3 players left on this list. The next player is Matheus Cunha, obviously signed for Manchester United for 62 million, and that is absolutely fantastic business, okay? Yeah, that is another player leaving Wolves, so they've lost 2 big players in their team now. This transfer window, which is absolutely incredible to say. They've got to try and find some real good replacements really quickly. It's a great bit of business for Manchester United because he can play as a striker, he can play as the 2 number 10s behind the striker as well. I think that's probably where Amorim will occupy his playing style. And I feel like, it does give Manchester United more options in that forward line. That's where they're lacking goals. Manchester United, for whatever reason, just can't score goals, and I feel like Matheus Cunha will definitely help out with that. So for that reason, I'm going to put him as an unbelievable Jeffers transfer. Anyways, moving over to the next player, it is Jeremy Frimpong to Liverpool for 29.5 million. Absolutely incredible piece of business right there. 29.5 million for Jeremy Frimpong, okay? This player has been one of the most exciting talents to come out of the Bundesliga in the recent years. When you think about that right back position, he is bombing up and down that right hand side all day long. He has got energy for days. He has got stamina to burn. This guy is fantastic. He's an attacking fullback, okay? He scores goals, he gets assists, and he can create goals. He's been absolutely pivotal for that Xavi Alonso by Leverkusen side, and I really do think it is a good transfer. However, there is a little bit of doubt creeping in where if you buy another attacking left back in the likes of a Kirkes, for example, are your fullbacks too attacking? For me, they might be. I feel like it might be all right at Anfield because you'll have the cop behind you. It'll be all okay in that sort of sense. But in those big games away from home, we sort of see those 2 fullbacks in a little bit of danger. I'm not too sure. So for me, it is a good bit of business. I really do like it, but because there's a little bit of doubt, I'm going to put it in great signing, not unbelievable, if that makes sense. Right, moving over to the last player on this list, it is Jobe Bellingham to Borussia Dortmund for 29.5 million, I want to say, and that is the second highest transfer fee in Borussia Dortmund's history, okay, for a player. Now, by the time of recording, it hasn't actually been confirmed, but hopefully by the time the video gets released, it is confirmed. It is all but confirmed. The deal has been agreed. It's just not been announced yet properly. So hopefully it does do that in the coming days unless he fails a medical or something crazy like that. I don't know. But Joe Bellingham, okay, for me, it's a bit of a weird one because the season he had at Sunderland was amazing, and to get them promoted in the playoff finals, why wouldn't you want to stay in the Premier League? To get promoted and, you know, have that sort of rivalry with Newcastle in the Premier League would be fantastic. And of course, don't get me wrong, you're going to be in a relegation battle all season long, so I do understand that. But when there's these conversations around, you know, Joe Bellingham being similar to Jude Bellingham, his brother, his big brother, and him sort of wanting to create his own legacy in football and whatnot, why would you go and join the same team as your brother Jude? Obviously, Borussia Dortmund is a fantastic club for young players. They've developed so many names over the recent years, and for the last 10 to 20 years, most likely. Borussia Dortmund is a brilliant club to go to, and is a massive step up compared to Sunderland. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but I just feel like, as a playing perspective, I would have liked to see him play in the Premier League, to test his skills out in the Premier League before going to a Borussia Dortmund. That's just me, because I really do feel like there's a stepping stone where if you want to make your name for yourself, if you want to separate your name from Jude Bellingham, why hasn't Job just stayed in the Premier League? That's just my opinion. So for that reason alone, I'm going to put it as an all-right transfer. Don't get me wrong, it'll probably light up the Bundesliga. It'll probably be a fantastic player for them. But I don't know. It doesn't sit right. It has a bit of a weird feeling around it. But again, like, it's just my opinion. Anyways, this is my tier list of the best confirmed transfers so far in the Premier League. So let me guys know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree with the players that I chose and in the categories I've put them in? Do you think Churchy is going to be the winger to solve Pep Guardiola's problems? Do you think Matthias Cunha will, you know, solve Manchester United forward problems? Do you think we'll get him scoring some goals? What do you think about Frimpong to Liverpool? Is he a two attacking fullback? Do they need a defensive left back as well in there to sort of balance it out? How do you think about Joe Bellingham going to Borussia Dortmund? What do we think about Ait-Nouri? Do you think he's going to be a starter straight away with Man City? Do you think he's just coming in as a backup rotation sort of role? And yeah, those are all my questions. But as always, like, comment, subscribe. It is very much appreciated, and it goes a long way in helping us build a community on my channel. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.